Welcome back. Wayward Soles, the Double Tap In, episode 10. And today, if you can't tell, we've got a special guest. This guy right here in the middle. And we put him in the middle for a reason. You know, a thorn surrounded by roses. That's how we would do it.
Yeah. I'd say so.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with you guys.
Yeah. So if you've been following, along and listening to our previous shows, you know that there's a gentleman that we've been talking about, the one and only Todd Lampman. Well, ladies and gentlemen, here he is.
Here
today.
I am.
If you could say that with a little bit of excitement,
I'm excited. Not as excited as my wife when I told her I was going to be on with you guys. Like, really? That's going to be fun.
Are you guys going to drink?
Maybe. So just like the rest of our shows, we're here to have a good time, see where it goes. No real agenda. Todd, you do have the honor of being our first guest.
Oh,
so
awesome.
Congrats.
Thanks, man.
And you are setting the bar extremely low.
Yes.
But you and those out there listening to us, you've heard us talk in the past about Todd, the former, by the time this airs, the former baseball coach at Snow Hill High School, and just all around awesome dude that I had the opportunity to work with in my time at Snow Hill. That we'll get into how you two gentlemen know each other. Might be biblically, I don't know.
It was a tough street.
Oh, God.
So, what's going on, guys?
Well, it's a good day.
Yeah, good day.
Yeah, woke up.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah. So, what we got going on, Todd? Tell us about the last season.
Well, it's, I guess by the time this airs, it'll be over.
In the books.
It'll be in the books, and it'll be a book with 19 chapters in it.
Wow.
At Snow Hill. It'll be, I think, 32 years overall coaching. Baseball, some football mixed in, some girls basketball mixed in, a season of golf mixed in.
I forgot about that.
Yep. And then 11 and a half years of being athletic director at Snow Hill High School. So
coming to an end.
So I'm going to keep teaching. I got 7 years to go to finish out teaching.
Yeah.
But it's just time to do something different.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And that's 19 years of coaching baseball at Snow Hill that we're closing the book on.
Right.
But you run the Titans,
right,
which is a private baseball program club.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So East Coast Titans baseball we started it 5 years ago. It was myself, Jimmy Terrell, Jimmy Sarbanes. Decided we needed to do something a little different, go in our own direction philosophically, and decided to take the leap and see what we could do. Started with one team 5 years ago, and 5 years later, we're currently at 15. As
wow.
We head into what will amount to the next tryout season, I guess, in the world of travel baseball. And we're based out of Salisbury, but we draw kids from Lower Delaware, Berlin, Salisbury, Lower, Eastern Shore, Virginia. So we got a good mix of kids. We got some great people working in there with us and coaching our teams and instructing our players, and it keeps me busy, but it's been a lot of fun, and the relationships are much different than what you develop over 20 years of coaching high school sports.
Yeah.
You get around good people that love the game, and they get to share their experiences, and it's been a lot of fun. And I'm sure it will continue to be fun, and we're trying to just grow it a little bit. We're not trying to take over the world in terms of baseball, but there's still some room for a little bit of growth, and we're going to try to manage it as best we can and do the right thing.
Awesome. Well, that's good stuff. And and you said 5 years, and you've grown from 1 to 15 teams. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So clearly you guys are doing something right.
Yeah, I like to think so. I mean, ultimately the parents and the kids make the decision on where they want to play, because there's some options out there, and those options have good people working at them too. So, we're very fortunate that people have joined our organization and trust us to teach them how to be good baseball players, and maybe more importantly, good people along the way. So, so we're still all working on that. As I sit between two roses.
Aren't we all?
Right. So, but that's been good. It's been a good run at Snow Hill. It's been fortunate to coach a bunch of good players and meet good families, and the community has been supportive of our program and our school. And it's, I mean, you guys know, you guys have been around here for as long or longer than me.
Ever.
So, right, definitely you, like you, from when we got to know each other over on Baker Street. So it's been fun. But it's also time to do something different.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about Baker Street.
Yes.
Yeah. I heard there was a beer or two that maybe got punished.
I'm pretty sure Todd still owes me a lot of beer. We played in a softball league out of Shao, and Todd was my next door neighbor. And let me start with that league. A bunch of us played in the employee league in Ocean City, Fire EMS division, and we consistently got our shit kicked in. And one of the guys, Doug Scott, God bless his soul, he came to me one night and he said, "Man, I got to play winning ball somewhere. You think you can get a team together for this league in Shao?" And I said, "Why, yes, I do. I think I can do that." He goes, "I'll run this team if you run that team." And I said, "Yeah, man, not a problem at all. We can do that." So one of the first people I approached was my neighbor, because I knew he had played a little bit of ball. I'm not saying he's all that great, but he could fill a position. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We got somebody to warm the bench.
That's right. And Todd said yes, fortunately.
Yeah, right.
He said one condition, I'm a professional ball player. I gotta get paid to do this.
Yeah. Sounds like him.
And I said, "Okay, well, what do you want?" He goes, "Beer." And I said, "Okay, we can probably handle that too. I'll get you a cheap T-shirt, a cheap hat, and some beer, and we'll be good to go."
And some cheap.
Sure it was. We'd play ball. We'd come back. We'd find a porch somewhere on Baker Street to sit on. And
sometimes it wasn't our porch.
Sometimes it wasn't our porch, but it was a porch.
It's the porch.
And as long as we didn't disturb the neighbors a whole lot, they really didn't care.
Yeah.
So that's, like I said, we were next door neighbors. And we have kids the same age. All that, just that's basically how we met, was being neighbors. Things got real interesting on Baker Street. Not many people know this, but there was a movie filmed on Baker Street. Did you know that?
I did.
Yeah. So if you all have ever seen the movie Runaway Bride,
Hickman was the Runaway Bride, the OG. You
Hickman
should see him in a dress.
Hickman was an asshole. And I'll tell you that story about filming the Runaway Bride after I tell you the main Berlin house was this guy's house.
It was.
The blue house where you see Julia Roberts come out of the house, and she picks the paper up and she sits and kicks her legs and throw that up with the train going by and all that shit. I'm like 75 feet from her, back in front of my house, watching her run out of that house 57 times, the train backing up 81 times because they didn't get the speed right. They didn't do this. They didn't do that. Oh, anyway, the blue house in Runaway Bride was Todd's house. And that's a little trivia about Todd, is he's almost a movie star.
Almost.
Yeah, almost.
Yeah.
I woke up one morning and looked out my bathroom window, and the yard between us is kind of narrow. And I could look over in Todd's yard, and they had set up a trampoline. You remember the trampoline?
Yeah, I do. Yep.
And somebody, first thing in the morning, is bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and raising hell on this trampoline. And it was Julia Roberts. It was her birthday. And as I had the window open, she was saying, "It's my birthday. I'll jump on this trampoline if I want to." And fun fact, Julia Roberts can do what the fuck she wants to do whenever she wants to do.
That's right, because she's an actual movie star.
Yeah, because she is a movie star. So me being an asshole with that movie was, my ex is on the front porch. Julia Roberts, Richard Gere, and Julia's entourage walk by the house, and you might remember this. She takes a picture of Julia Roberts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
her entourage confiscated the camera and stripped the film out of it.
What?
Oh, yes.
Which didn't go over well
I
with
bet
Mr.
not
Michael
well
Hickman.
at all.
No.
Yeah.
No. We had a problem. We had a big problem. And that's when I realized that Julia Roberts was a bitch. And I mean,
There it is.
a flat out raging bitch. Richard Gere, complete opposite. Chill dude, nice dude, talk to both boys, just a cool, chill dude. Julia, I'm a firefighter. I love to fucking fight fire as hard as I can go. I wouldn't piss in her mouth if her teeth were on fire.
There you have it.
So anyhow, that's
Doesn't
just
get
my
any more honest than this.
that's just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, I got to watch a lot of filming. I'd go over to Mr. and Mrs. Parks' yard and line up on that fence that they built
Yep.
and be able to watch filming. So you got to see all that shit
Yeah.
up close and personal.
There were some fun times. So just a quick story. When they first came to town, Emily, my daughter, who's now 25, was
God damn, that hurt my back just hearing that.
literally
All that age.
She may have been like 4 days old, 3 days old.
Oh.
Like she's just home. And of course, 3 days old, she's good to go. Mary's got it under control, right? I'm going to go play in a softball tournament.
Heck yeah.
That's
Well,
what
of course.
that's what you do, right?
You're on the hook. You got to drink the beer.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Mandatory.
I'm getting paid through beer to play softball, right? So I leave on Saturday in the morning, come back. Mary's like, "Hey, the movie company came by and wants to use the house possibly use the house for Runaway Bride." She says, "There's all these people running around the yard." And I'm like, "Why?" Of course, I'm thinking, why would they use our house?
Right.
Right. So, Saturday comes and goes. Sunday, okay, you got to finish the second day of the tournament.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
So I get up in the morning, come back. Mary's like, Gary Marshall, who was the director of the movie, it's like, came by and wants to maybe use the house for Runaway Bride. And I'm like, again, like, I'm looking around. I don't see anybody. Like, there's no.
Yeah.
It's like, why would they want to use our house on Baker Street in Berlin? Of all the houses in Berlin.
Right.
Right. So Mary's like, well, he was sitting across the street, talking on the phone, and he looked up and like, that's the house I want to use. And I was like, I didn't want to be dismissive, but I'm like,
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
why would somebody want to use our house for a movie? So, Monday, I think, was Labor Day holiday. And I get up Monday morning and I'm standing in the living room, looking around, probably having a Dr. Pepper back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, Mary, there's like 50 people in our yard.
Yeah.
Looking around.
What are they
Like,
doing?
what are they doing? And she goes, did you not hear me tell you for 2 days in a row that they want to film a movie at our house? I was like, well, I heard you, but
Didn't believe
really
it.
set in. Like, who wants to use our house for a movie? And now there's 50 people in the
Yeah.
yard. They're all looking around, and now they want to talk to us. And the next thing you know, we're like a couple weeks later, we're packing up, and they're moving us to Ocean City for 6 weeks.
Mm.
And they used our house for Runaway Bride, and they put a Worcester County sheriff in front of the house 24/7.
Yep.
Was that before you worked for them?
Yes, I was still with Fire EMS then.
Okay.
And I don't know if you remember what set number you were. We were set 113.
I had no idea. Yeah.
And we couldn't do anything to our yard for 7 days after they finished shooting in case they had to come back and do a reshoot. Like, we couldn't move vehicles.
Really?
Now they paid us, for
Right.
the set use. But every night for however many weeks it was, I'd wake up, go pee, there'd be a cop in my backyard. OCPD, Worcester County Sheriff's Office, state trooper, something in the backyard guarding our sets.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very unique experience.
Yeah, they had somebody in front of our house as well, and I remember coming home real early, left Ocean City to get fishing rods. I got to the driveway at like 4:00 in the morning, and the guy, of course, he immediately stepped out of his car. "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I live here." He goes,
Not right now.
Not right
here. I was like, "Well, my fishing pole's in my garage, and
I'm going fishing.
I'm gonna need that to do what I need to do this morning." So he was like, "All right." I mean, he was good about it. He walked me to the garage, make sure I just got out what I needed, and on I went. But it was
just make sure you only got the certain things of your stuff from your house.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But it was good. They did a lot of landscaping. They wanted to know which fence company put up the fence around our yard, and I was like, "Well, that'd be Lampman and Company."
Yep.
And so we're going to do this to it. And I was like, if you'd have told me that 2 years ago when I was digging holes with a post hole digger, it'd been a lot more fun. But
right.
But it worked out. It was fun. And Joan Cusack, by the way, going back to like the Richard Gere, I think she had a young child too, and her nanny was with the child, and the nanny was, I don't know if they were there longer than they needed to be or planned on being, but the nanny ran out of diapers, the nanny ran out of snacks, the whole thing. So Joan Cusack and Mary and the nanny all went in the house, and we loaded her up with diapers because, Emily was only probably 3 weeks old at this point, loaded up with snacks and Cheerios and diapers, and they sat in the living room and had a cool conversation. And like Joan Cusack was really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, she was really down to earth. And so Mary really enjoyed that piece of it. Emily doesn't remember any of it, but it was
It was
pretty
good history,
cool.
man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Like overall, like
yeah.
We were watching it. Rachel and I don't think we were married yet, but we were watching it, and then to see in the movie like David Hall,
right,
and then they used Snow Hill High School,
right,
the fields and all that kind of stuff, and at that point it was after the renovation, so it was the fields and all that was what it was when I started, when you started, and then compare that to what it is now,
right,
and what we have become used to. It's like, wow, that's a trip to the past.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a pretty good experience.
They were doing pre-production months in advance, and it was all the big scuttle, and they were going Berlin, Snow. They were going everywhere trying to find the perfect locations to do this. And I'm glad that they spread it out. Even Western Maryland got some stuff. I'm glad they did that. It was a big boost for Berlin for sure. It was a boost for Snow Hill. And I'm happy they did that.
Yeah, that worked out well.
That movie's like 25 years old now. It's crazy, isn't it?
Don't remind me.
It's crazy.
When it finally got done and came out, was the time that I was leaving, that I was going up the road.
Right.
And I remember going to the premiere in West Ocean City, and it wasn't long after that. And maybe I even came back for the premiere, because we didn't move the house for like 3 or 4 months after I went up the road.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So, we were talking at breakfast about a certain time that you guys did a ride along together, the 4th of July and in Ocean City. And
4th of July, man. Hey, dog, knock it off. My puppy's eating plants.
Yeah, I was telling Ben, it was like that. It didn't seem like he was real busy, other than that guy that got his stuff thrown out of the 30th floor of that one hotel. Remember the girlfriend hit him with the guitar?
Yes.
And
so just another Saturday night in Ocean City.
Yeah. But it was like the alarms were going off a lot because it was a storm, I think, came in late. Yeah. And I was like, holy cow, man, these things, like, as soon as you lay down, it was like, back up. And Mike's like, get up. I'm like, I'm trying to get up. Like, but we did, like, probably the most interesting thing is the alarm went off, and Mike's like, got to get up, let's go. So we got up, we got to, I forget what hotel it was, because it was one of the high rises. And we got there, and there's all the police are there, and we're there on I think the ambulance probably. Yeah. And so we got out, and the cop was like, hey, be careful. Some girl's throwing stuff over the balcony. Like, you look up, and there's clothes, suitcase, shoes. And so we get upstairs and the cops are in there already. There's blood all over the door, the hallway, and so Mike goes in. I forget who your partner was at the time,
I don't remember.
but the two of them go in. Of course, I'm trying to stay out of the way because I don't really know what I'm doing
Right.
anyway.
I still try and do that.
there's a lot of blood, right? And the cop says, "Well, the boyfriend's in the bathroom. He's got a head wound, and the girlfriend's over there. Apparently, they've been fighting. She started throwing his stuff off. I don't know what he said or did, but she whacked him with a guitar, and the cop holds the guitar up, and I was like, "Yep, he definitely got hit by the guitar. It's not only dented up, but his hair is still in the guitar."
Nice.
So, I guess this has been 20 years ago too, probably.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But they got the bleeding stopped, and then the guy refused to go to the hospital. So we were like, "All right, well, it's on you now, buddy."
Yeah. Good
Yeah.
luck.
So we got
Sign
back
here, press hard. You make it 3 copies back in the day.
Yeah.
and so we go back to the firehouse and lay down for like what seemed like 30 seconds, and we're like, "All right, get up."
Yep.
Like,
Yep,
but it was
that's how it works.
that was fun. Yeah.
Especially when the alcohol over there kicks in.
Oh yeah.
Ah, bless America.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But it was fun. It was good. It was a good time. It wasn't much sleep that night, but there's not been many 4th of Julys where there have been a lot of sleep.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
That is 100% correct.
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
good.
Another aspect of the job I don't miss.
No.
Getting up,
Yep.
up and down, up and down, up and down.
Yeah. I tell you, it's not terrible. Like
Well, you're also young.
younger.
Yeah.
Younger.
And if you're in it all the time, you just
Yeah.
get used to it.
Yeah. And it's one of those things that like I think I made that switch at a point where I knew what I was getting into.
Yeah.
You know, people come into the job super young and they don't they go straight through all of their classes, they get a job and they don't really understand the nights and how they work and all that kind of stuff, or the days after.
And a high pace,
Yeah.
Yeah.
organization.
Yeah.
You have no idea. There's no way to prepare for that unless you
Yeah.
actually do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Yep.
They pay me really well. Sometimes I sleep, sometimes I don't.
Yep.
So,
Exactly right.
yeah.
EMS, earn money sleeping.
Yeah. Sometimes. So,
Yeah, that's the system. EMS, Emergency Medical Services System. Earn money sleeping. Sometimes.
yeah. Yeah. So let's talk something that I know you two also have in common. It's fishing. So what
No, she said fishing, not catching. Did you
Right.
catch that?
oh there's
Yeah.
yeah.
Casting is really what it should be.
Yeah, no joke.
So what's your fish preference? What do you like to catch?
Anything that comes out of the ocean. I do okay on a boat. If I get too far out, sometimes I can get a little nauseous, but if I can see land, I'm pretty good.
Mhm.
But or Outer Banks, we talked about that this
Yeah.
morning. Outer Banks, where I can sit on the beach and hold the rod or put it
And
in
a
a rod holder and a beverage.
Yep.
Yep.
And
Yep.
not give a shit about anything.
Yep.
Yep.
And I don't get to do it as much as I would like over the last couple of years between, during my time as athletic director and coaching, there hasn't been a lot of downtime, even in the summer.
Mhm.
And I think we could probably all agree that the fall is probably the best time.
Yep.
Early spring. And those are the busy times with fall sports and spring sports and coaching baseball. So standing on the beach in the summer is still a lot of fun, even though there's not as much happening.
Right.
But I like surf fishing a lot. I like cast and retrieving. I like just setting it in the rod holder, and when it bends, you grab it. And I actually am a fan of bluefish. I know a lot of people don't like the bluefish because of the oil in it, but I've always been a fan. And it's a good fish to catch. They're a lot of fun to catch, and of course, rockfish off the beach are a lot of fun to catch as well.
Yes, they are.
So
Yeah, speaking of bluefish, and we're kind of a cooking show, my favorite thing to do with a bluefish is make fish cakes.
Mhm.
And it's my crab cake recipe. I just substitute the bluefish for the smoke the bluefish,
Okay.
and then crumble it up, like you would normally do crab meat, and make a fish cake out of it.
nice.
Make you want to slap your mama. And mama, if you're watching, be forewarned
Better
that if
watch
I'm
out.
making fish
That's right.
dip,
You're gonna
you
get
might want to cover up.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never been one to eat a whole lot of fish.
Mhm.
Unless it was like the Gordon's Fisherman,
Right.
fish sticks.
Right.
It's hard to turn those down. But just recently working with somebody that and I think, when I say his name, you will truly appreciate, because we've talked about him a couple of times before, the one and only David Miska.
Yep.
Um,
Even this.
Don't be a dick.
That's right. I forget who said that some back in the day, but
I think you said it to David.
your times have changed.
Yeah, not really. But David is an avid hunter, fisher,
Right.
And then obviously, if you're that into it, you're gonna eat what you kill, what you catch. And made fish tacos for us one day at work using some flounder that he had caught, and it was absolutely phenomenal. So then, of course, like, show me how you do this,
Yeah.
right? And tried it at home. It was good. It was okay. But the only other thing that I've really, really cooked and have really enjoyed is smoking some salmon. So, and that's like candy. Holy cow!
Right.
But that flounder, that was wicked good. So I know, I think we were riding down the beach, Rachel and I. This is before Harper. I think it was before we were married, and you and Mary were sitting out, and I think you had caught one. I think that was like one of the first times I had really seen a flounder, and the teeth on that thing.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I never knew.
Made sure it was a regular flounder and not a Pennsylvania flounder, because he will do that to you. You know what a Pennsylvania flounder is?
No.
Escape.
Well, I don't think you want to get your finger caught in either one of them.
No.
But
No, not at all.
Yeah. No.
Do like me some fishing.
it can be relaxing, that's for sure.
So I know you don't have Facebook anymore. Are you active on Instagram?
Yeah, I do have an Instagram, and I really like Twitter or X now. I mean, I like reading it more than I actually get on it. I think there's a lot of junk on it, obviously, but it's interesting to me to see and read.
I'm on
People's
X
takes.
because of baseball. It seems like the first report of news comes out on X before it's even on MLB or anything else. It comes out on X because all those guys have their accounts. And they got to be first to get the news out. So I follow X simply because of baseball. But if you're on Instagram and you follow the Double Tap In, you'll see my fishing trip from a week ago today. We were on a boat out in Tangier Sound, and buddy, we slayed some fish. It was, and I say slay, they were all catch and release, but we put 15 citation red drum in the boat.
Wow.
And it was something else. I realized the next day there were two things I couldn't do. I couldn't hold my dick with my right hand. I couldn't pick my nose with my right hand. So if you're trying to pee left-handed and you're not a gouge. So you gotta watch what you do at my age when you're fishing, because you get worn out kind of quick. But it was just a great trip. Great trip. And I can tell you right now, I've never had a truly bad fishing trip.
Right.
I just have it because you're fishing, and it is what it
and
is.
You're probably with friends and
exactly
having
right.
a good time.
Exactly right.
Yeah. And whether you're fishing from the beach, on the side of a lake, or on a boat,
Right.
Like it's not a bad
Still
time.
better than working.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's right. And you look around, I got fly rods over here.
Yep.
I've got fishing rods in here. I've got them tucked in the corner in the other room. I have fishing shit ever. That's a big box of antique fishing stuff over here. I should have been a professional fisherman or some shit and gotten paid to do this.
Right.
Right now it just costs me money.
Did you guys see the thing? It was like a bass tournament. Go figure, up in Pennsylvania, where the kids were putting weights
Oh,
in
yeah.
the fish,
Yes.
and they got caught.
They weren't kids; they were grown ass men.
Yep.
They
Well,
were
they-
professional.
I think they were
dudes.
still younger, like younger adults that
Yeah.
were doing this.
Yeah.
But they like I remember the video popping up on social media. Of
Oh, yeah.
these kids getting caught doing that. And you're
Yeah.
like, you dumbass.
Saw it on Twitter.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go. That's right. Yeah. They and it's led to even more. They went back and reviewed other tournaments that they had been in and had won, and it led to, I want to say, fraud charges or something.
Did it really?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, like they
Well,
they
probably
were
got
charged.
prize
trouble.
money.
Yeah.
and, like,
Yeah, they were charged criminally, and yeah, big deal, big
Wow.
deal.
Wow. Yeah. So we last night or yesterday afternoon, Rachel gets home from school and she wants to go over to Ugly Pie in Salisbury, which if you haven't tried Ugly Pie, you need to go try Ugly Pie. It's fantastic. But we're walking over and we walk through the city park to get there. And there's a guy at the dam fly fishing right there.
Yeah.
I was like, that's a little different spot to be fly fishing.
Yeah.
But hey, good for you.
There's fish. Might as well give it a whirl.
Right.
Can't catch them from the couch.
Right. Yeah. And which then led into the conversation with Rachel about, Harper's 3. Like, I wonder at what point, like,
Right now.
taking
Yeah.
her fishing is when she would like start to like catch on and all that kind of stuff. I grew up when I grew up, like we get home from school and 100 yards out of our back door, we'd drop down to a creek, and the record smallmouth bass for Pennsylvania was caught in that creek. So we'd get home, grab our fly rods, and we'd be back at dusk when it was time for dinner. So it's just like these memories that I have, and it's like, man, now's the time. And like Todd said, like right now, it's one of those things that I started looking at, and Rachel was like, but you have to have the expectation that it's going to be 5 minutes of fishing.
Correct.
Like, you're going to get there, get everything set up, throw it out, and then set a timer.
Yep.
I'm like, all right, 5 minutes is up. Let's go play on the swings. So it's something that like
start slow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like she said, no expectation.
Yeah.
And by the time she's 6,
Oh yeah.
she's going to want to walk down to the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So that's something that's like, I've already got the little fishing rod in the basement, like ready to go. So
Yep.
Nice.
yeah, it's going to be a good time.
all it takes is a can of corn, for
Mhm.
park fishing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
As long as you catch something, you'll
That's
be
it.
good. You'll have her
Yeah.
hooked.
We won't even,
Literally.
No pun intended.
probably won't even have that in the first 5 minutes, but whatever.
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, we're coming up. Oh, look at that. We're a little over 30 minutes. And I know we said that's where we want to kind of keep our shows. So before we head out, Todd, just one question that we're going to start with all of our guests.
All right, I'm ready for this.
You
one.
ready?
Yep.
Chicken versus an elephant. How many chickens do you need to take down an elephant?
Okay. A lot. But like I said earlier, I think if you had some roosters mixed in there, it wouldn't take quite as many.
Just a couple cocks in there.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big cocks, little cocks.
You need to have a mix.
Okay.
You got to have a mix of hens. So
Yeah.
you better have a good mix of cocks as well. I had 2 roosters out at Cockholster Farm
Uh-huh.
for a while, and they were like minutes of being on the grill because
Sunday dinner, baby.
they were getting aggressive with me, and I was feeding them.
Yeah.
And I actually told Mary, I was like, we're going to do something with these 2 or they're going to get shot and we're going to have for dinner.
Yeah.
And she ended up getting them. She went on Facebook chicken group or whatever she's on.
Yeah.
And
Hey, man, looking for some cock. Here they are. Come get it.
yeah. And so somebody actually came and it's good. And
Yeah.
So right now we have 9 chickens, but I think it's going to take more than 9 chickens to take down an elephant. That's
It's
just
going to take all of them.
Yeah.
all 9 of them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, there it is, folks. You heard it here first. The double tap in. A lot of chickens, some cocks, take down an elephant. So
there you go.
yeah. All right. So that's our show for right now. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, which we hope you have. If not, then you probably don't have much going on in your life that you needed to tune away from the goat. So that'll be the next question. How many goats And we're not talking Todd Lampman's. It'd be one Todd Lampman.
Right. Let's see. Hopefully one. I got a feeling it's going to be more than one.
Probably.
Are they fainting goats?
No.
So you just see the pile of goats landing around the basement
Yeah.
of an elephant? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
We've talked about some fainting goats. Mary's all about some goats. She's like, we're getting goats as soon as we get these chickens dialed in. They actually are doing pretty good, but we need to fence them in so they don't wander around the cockholster farm and chew everything, eat everything up, I guess. So we got to get them fenced, get a place for them to live first, and then I'm sure it'll be game on.
Here come the goats.
Yeah.
Yep.
Goats
Yeah.
are fun, man.
Yeah.
They're a lot of fun. My grandparents had a goat when I was growing up. Streak the guard goat. And any of you old school fuckers remember Streak the guard goat, I can tell you. Yeah, badass goat. Got named Streak, Father's Day. My grandfather got the goat. He wanted a grinder. He wanted a shop grinder. Well, as a joke, they got him a goat. Yeah. First 4 seconds that it was out of the truck and they gave him as a gift, it took off. Now, this is Father's Day weekend. They lived Route 50 and North Main Street by the State Police Barracks.
Uh-huh.
And that goat went right across Route 50 with Father's Day traffic. And that goat, so streaked across Route 50.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So goats are on the way. We'll see.
That won't be bad.
Oh, you'll see.
You want
So,
Oh,
you know,
I
if
will.
Mary wants goats, she's getting goats.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Oh yeah, they're coming. I just
Yeah.
try and hold off, but
Guess you
there's
get a
something else
pig.
to feed in my house.
Yep, that's
You
right.
get a pig. You feed it for a little while.
Mary
Then
won't kill it. I mean,
I'm not
I
asking-
wouldn't have a problem to
I'm
kill
not
it. but
asking Mary
she
to kill
would.
it.
Yeah,
I
right.
know. I
It's
wouldn't have
just
a
going to
problem
disappear
killing
and show back up.
Right. You know, it might show up at the double tap in.
That's what I'm saying.
On either
Pick
that
a smoker.
There's
smoker.
a
That
smoker there,
smoker,
there's
that
one
smoker
over
over here.
Right.
Take one.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's only 5 sitting here.
Yeah. Yeah. So again, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me, man. It's fun. It's
You're-
great seeing. I haven't seen Mike in a couple of years now,
Yeah, a couple
for any
of-
amount of time anyway.
Yep.
So it's always fun to get back together and kind of reconnect and check on him, make sure he's doing all right.
Still alive.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And always a pleasure hanging
Yeah.
out with you, as you know.
I appreciate that.
Like 12, well, how long? 15 years together working? 12 years, something like that?
We worked together for 14,
14.
and that was, it would be 3 years in August. That was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So
So getting close to 20 years.
yeah,
I just
Yeah.
realized I
Okay.
need better friends. Holy shit.
Right?
you're right. We're not going to disagree with that statement. So again, thanks for watching. We're not sure what's coming up with the next show, but there's going to be another one. So tune in, and we hope you watch that one too.